What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Wrenching Wrecked. Exciting day for me, I think. We'll find out if this is a good idea or not in the future. But we left off last time. I had the truck in the barn. Truck is gone. I did not take the wheels off. I had it jacked up. I was ready to take the wheels off, but now I kind of moved everything again because this will live out there for now. Not that big of a deal. It's just a leaking tire. It's still annoying. I will get around to fixing it. But I had this open. I needed to yank Frankenstein out. I know it's just been sitting for a while, but I had a couple odds and ends to get fixed on this. The headlight wire down here came loose from the switch. It lost the screw, basically, so I bought another switch and just stole the screw, put that back together. Hopefully that'll fix the lights. It's a mag, so we can't find out until we get this thing fired up. But I think I might have mentioned this in the past on some other videos, but I did a whole build series on this, even though I didn't technically build it. I didn't do the hardtail, or not the hardtail. I didn't do the front end, I didn't do the girder. I picked this bike up from the swap meet pretty much exactly like it is. The only things I've switched on this are, I went from a 44 mil Mikuni down to a 38 mil, which it likes a lot better. Went through, jetted, timed, tuned all of that, rebuilt the mag, fresh cylinders, fresh pistons, recut semi-ported head valves, stock valves, but just cleaned up. Went through all of those and basically gave this a quick once over internally on the top end. The bottom end's been fine, it runs, shifts great. Brakes work, lights work, everything else is functioning. Now, I've had this done, I've been ripping it around, a couple odds and ends on the wiring, and then I think I swapped the bars out, but that's pretty much all I've done to this bike since I've had it. It's a good bike. It's a good ironhead for an early style mag one. Yes, it's Frankenstein. It's a kickstart case with the mag cover, the early 60s cover, earlier cover, if you will, on the cam chest. But it's been pretty good since we brought this home. It was one of those just kind of see if we can get it running and going down the road, and I did. So if I was to keep this, there are definitely a bunch of things I would switch, but I didn't want to keep it. I got plenty of choppers, and honestly, at this point in time, I have Superglide, Softail, XLCH, and a shovelhead Springer jockey shift chopper. Odds of me jumping on an ironhead to take to any shows or events, or just even on a weekend ride. If I'm solo, I'll rip around on this, but 2 up on this is not my favorite with Dottie on the back. I would much rather be on my chopper or the Superglide or the bagger and then the Softail. Softail's last, but if Dottie and I are going out for a weekend, that's her favorite bike now, so I think we might be stuck with that one. Even though I'm not a big Softail guy, but having one turnkey start, run, ride bike in the fleet's not the worst thing in the world. Anyways, back to the XLCH. It's got all the cool guy old chopper stuff. Crusty girder, Hallcraft 19 front, raked front end, gooseneck raked front end, mag fired, wraparound oil tank, and invader rear. Yes, it sits a little high. Put some lowering shocks on, or honestly, if I kept it, I was gonna do solid struts in the rear, kind of keep going with that digger-ish type vibe. Obviously, you could tweak the bars, you can change that however you want. I just used those bars with the risers, kept it stainless. I like the little slight ape hanger position. I do gotta tighten these up today. But this has been sitting up here for quite a while. It's been listed for sale. I've had a handful of people. I'm gonna set you guys down and sit on this bike while I enjoy it. I have had a handful of people asking me about this on Marketplace, but no major real interest. I did just have somebody offer $3 grand on it. I had it listed at 4. I think I'm down to 3 now because I can't seem to sell them. To me, I mean, I've been buying and selling bikes for years. My old ironhead chopper that I had, that was probably still one of my favorite bikes, I sold that for $4,500 5 years ago. And I kept tabs on it in case I had an opportunity to buy it back. But this one, this is not as nice as my other one was. This is definitely kind of a crusty old bar hopper chopper. It is what it is. I'm not trying to say that this is the most perfect bike in the world by any means. If somebody took the time and actually went through and gave this a full solid once over, this could be a very nice bike, but there's a lot of odds and ends that I find appealing, but the rest of the world might not if it was theirs. Got a cracked kicker cover that's been welded and then, you know, bale wired or whatever. It's crusty, it's old, it's rusty. If you want a nice, shiny, pretty bike, it's a good platform to do it. You just need to put some time and effort and energy and work and money into it. I don't have any interest in that. I like these crusty, sweaty old bikes. Come over to the primary side, kind of the same thing. Wiring definitely needs a full rewire. With a mag, there's really nothing to it. It's just a matter of I never dove into it because I didn't plan on keeping this bike. I had no intention of keeping it. However, all the people on the internet that are, oh, it's a Sportster, I'll give you $1,200 for it, I'll give you $1,000, I'll give you... No, absolutely not. This is worth way more than that in parts. So I kind of drew the line on that one. But I got this out now because one of the subscribers on here, I don't want to mention names or anything yet until I get approval. I'm just trying to respect people's wishes, you know. I love the YouTube community, but I don't want to just automatically, I'm not the guy to automatically turn the camera on and film people I don't know doing things most of the time. Event stuff, it's a little bit harder not to do that because I'm kind of just walking around, but for the most part, people have been cool about it. One of my subscribers on here, we've been in contact for a little bit, and he's got a trade proposition, or offered a trade proposition that I wasn't really sure about at first, but then I started thinking about it, and I think it could be good for me. Monetarily, I think we're relatively close in terms of cost and value. I don't really know, because it's something that I've never owned before. I know very little about, and I'm gonna have quite the learning curve when I get it. But I think it'll be fun. So we're gonna try and fire this up. I just rolled it out, fixed the headlight switch, and then adjusted that kickstand because it was leaning pretty good. So I got it sitting a little bit more proper again. Torch that, got that, oh, and then my oxyacetylene torch when I was trying to prop that up. I've had this sitting on 2x4s forever on the kickstand because it was bent over too far, but my regulator on the oxy torch went out. Look at this. Not cool. So that's fun. Always something. Something's always got to break, but I got you guys on the tripod. Let me throw this on the ground, get set up. We're gonna try and fire this thing up because it's been a long time. And this will probably be the last time. It's a sad day. As much as I didn't want to keep this bike, knowing that it might be leaving today kind of makes me sad. And the weather's cooperating. Somehow, it's been freezing cold the last week, but today on Sunday, it's already 45 degrees out here. So I think what I'm gonna do is get this fired up, hopefully. Haven't tried this in a long time. See if I can remember how. Hopefully we can get this thing going and then take it for a quick final hoorah ride. And then I might actually do a quick oil change on this depending. Yeah, we'll see. Spill and fill, but I want to warm it up before we do that. I do want to put thinner oil in there just for winter. I don't want to give it to somebody and then have it not kick over because I'm running 70 weight in there. So we need to mildly winterize this, which means put a 2050 in there instead of 70 weight, because once the temps get cold, I keep those in here, but these typically sit most of the time. And if I roll one of these, I mean, genuinely having 70 weight oil year round, I don't really ride in the colder temps nearly as much as I used to, but 70 weight in my chopper for sure, or especially on the Super Glide, because that's a little bit lower compression. On the Super Glide, I can go to find the kicker, just kicking it over with a thicker weight oil in there that's not in a heated barn. I can't find compression because the oil's so thick. So, yeah. I got 2050 sitting up here on the shelf. Just make it easier, but let's see how this goes. We're in a heated barn, so I'm not too worried about it, but I also haven't done this in a very long time. All right, choppery things. Sequence, what do we do here? We did choke, gas on, 2 kicks with the choke, key off, just get it flowing. See how this thing kicks over. Probably tighten up these bars a little bit too. 2 kicks, choke off, key on. I'm gonna bump the idle screw a quarter turn here. Ooh, it's been a minute. Come on, girl. A little more idle. What do we want here? More choke, less choke. What do you want, girl? I don't miss these videos. Ooh, there's that kicker knee. That felt good on the back of the knee. Whew, not even the slip, just the shock mount. Oh, I might need a break after that one. That stung a little. All right, let me nurse that one off. Man, this bike just couldn't go without hurting me first. Jeez, we'll be right back. I think it's flooded. Been, not gonna lie, my leg's killing me right now. But let's just give this a quick clear. I got a ton of gas built up in this carb. Please don't hurt me again. I'm already wounded. That's weird. It's not even popping. There we go. There we go. Oh, come on, you turd. She's closer, at least. Definitely flooded. Sure, I'll have a pretty gnarly bruise on the back of my leg. Not from the kicker gear slipping, but from that shock mount. The one downside to standing over the bike, but if I was kicking the crap out of that one, like I just did in that slip, I would have been on the ground with a hyperextended knee. So, it did a couple coughs, and then it just actually got worse, so I kind of thought it was flooded. I pulled that off. There was just a bunch of gas coming out of the, behind the air cleaner in the carb. So typically, if I remember correctly now, On cold start, it set the choke, 2 primer kicks with the choke on, choke off. It doesn't like or will not start with the choke on. But it looks like all the lights are working again, which I forgot about until just now. Oh, what fun would it be if it didn't kick your ass along the way, now that I'm sweating and hobbling around. But yeah, let this warm up a little bit, then we're gonna rip around, do one farewell journey, I guess. Oh, what a sad day. This thing still runs like a top. And it's quick. I mean, for what it is, that front end, pretty light. I just ripped this up and down the road out front a handful of times. Man, I do enjoy riding this bike. I have too many. I have way too many things going on. Time to thin them out. And if I can have something that's gonna help me, hopefully as the business and for whatever else, why not? It's time for it to go. Hopefully the new owner will enjoy this, but God, runs so good though. Runs so good. Brakes, crappy old chopper brakes, you know, per usual. I think I am gonna do a quick fluid change on here, just help him out a little bit. So now she's nice and hot from riding it. Get that done, and then hopefully it starts up easy for him later, because my knee is killing me right now. I'm half gimping around. Which, go figure, it's Sportster things. I would recommend rebuilding this starter gear. It's not that bad compared to several of the other sporties that I've had over the years, but or kicked over the years. But that's the one thing I never got around to opening up and doing. So let's do a fluid change. I want to tighten these bars down. Those jumped on me when I was pushing this thing pretty hard, which wasn't that fun. Man, do I really not have the right size for that? Never mind. Let's get over to the oil side. How big of a mess is this gonna make? I don't know what size that drain plug is either. Where is my oil pan? 7, please. Smaller? Let me grab some tools. This is gonna probably be pretty dirty. Oh. It's actually not that bad. So, there we go. We'll let this drain while I try and figure out handlebar clamps, and then we'll top this off with some fresh oil. Send it on its merry way. Oil is drained. Get this guy back in here. And I just popped the cap off on the other side already too, so. I'm not gonna crack the case or anything. Whatever residual stuff is in there is just fine. But now all we gotta do is find a clean funnel and fill this thing up. Let me go look for funnels. Should have done that first before we started filming. All right, just gonna let the rest of that final bit drain in there. Oh crap, I gotta check the clock. Gotta go meet up a buddy of mine over at the powder shop real quick too, so. Let me figure out what time it is, but there we go. Oil change is all done, so that's at least done for him. And like I said, hopefully this thing starts. I know it will start, I know it runs good, but I mean, one way or another, I'll kick the crap out of it and hurt myself even more if I need to, but that shock tower post to the back of the knee did not feel good. But we got fluid change done, headlights are working again, brakes are still working, and the thing runs fantastic. The only other issue on this is Could use a little bit more carb tuning. I think the Pilot Jet's probably one size too big. But mixture screw, I mean, it doesn't stumble or stutter. It's a Mikuni, so it doesn't like taking 0 to cracked throttle. I never fully dialed in that circuit because I never really ride that way. I mean, you roll into the throttle at a stoplight taking off, it'll get up and go without stumbling, without stuttering, without any issue. But if you're sitting there letting it run and just immediately hard go from idle to wide open, doesn't like that all that much. No accelerator pump to cheat that. I know it's tunable. I know it's adjustable. I just don't have the time to dial that in. It runs great. You roll into the throttle real quick, it's fine. Crack it anywhere in the RPM range from cruise speed, also fine. And it pulls like a raped ape, so no complaints there. Fresh oil, everything else should be good. Let me run over to the powder shop. Maybe I'll have more on this video at the Traderoo if the guy's cool with being on camera. If not, then I'll update you after we flip-flop everything.
All right, babe, how do you drive this? Everywhere.
So that's neutral. Tower shift?
So you like push down and twist to switch gears? Or? Oh.
I think that's reverse.
You gotta play with it.
And you can't shift them while driving. I thought. On this. Alright, so that's neutral. Key on. 2 brakes.
That'll go up or down? I think up and forward.
on the throttle cable. Tractor things. Well, it is the next day. I filmed a bunch of stuff on the tractor yesterday, and I lost the audio. I had the mic on, something died, one of the mics or the receiver died, something. But there's a bunch of footage that I got. I'll time-lapse it and show you guys. I know nothing about tractors, but it does have this sickle bar mower. We dropped this down, got this all cycled through and working, figured out what switches kind of do what to some extent. Probably a bunch of things wrong, but it is working. So this is functioning. It was cool. It's very odd to watch one of these. This is like a murder mystery movie thing, in my opinion. Old farm equipment. It's just so crude, but so good at the same time. So we got that working. Pulled it in here. Definitely love tapped the paint booth with this thing. Foot slipped off the clutch, not paying attention, and couldn't catch the brake in time, even though there's two of them. So we love tapped the paint booth, but whatever. That happens. And look at this mess. She is bleeding. Now, I knew that, and I mean, the Frankenstein was bleeding pretty good too. The transmission, speedo drive cluster actually loosened up a little bit, so that's got to get snugged down. Told him about it, and to let me know if he had any questions, but a couple things we got to do today. I got to pull this pump off. You can see it just pouring. I don't know if I got any of that in the video from yesterday, but I'm really happy with it. Starts right up, runs great. I think I want to try and maybe lube the linkage for the throttle a little bit. I don't know how tight that's supposed to be, but it seems a little stiff to me. The sickle mower might actually be coming off here pretty quick. I'm excited about it, having it, but we're in winter and that doesn't really need to be there. But I do think if I put a like a carry-all kind of attachment on here or a trailer hitch attachment, that will be very useful for me even in the winter months. And then maybe a box blade of some sort or even a snowplow blade so I can kind of manage some stuff up here. But that will wrap up this video, at least the me. Well, yeah, might, who knows? I don't know what's gonna happen in editing. But we got the tractor back. And then today I got up and up to the shop, and my parts actually showed up at the right spot in my building as opposed to the main office. So I did take the 21 front wheel for that ironhead on the lift, on the lower lift, and got that all done. So I can put this back on the Springer, and then if I can, I'll try and get this Springer on in the next video. So that's where we're at. Enjoy the tractor footage, or maybe I'll put it before this. I don't know. Frankenstein is gone. And we got a running tractor that needs a little bit of love, but we'll get there. Don't know anything about tractors, but I genuinely think I love this thing. I've had it for a whopping 12 hours, and that's all that I can think about right now. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. One bike gone, new gigantic project in. Runner for a runner. That's how it goes. We'll catch you on the next one. Jerry, if you see this, thanks again for the trade. Hopefully you're feeling pretty good about it as well. We'll take good care of her.